What's up, world? Lee here, coming to you on this March 30th. What? With sticks, strings, and other things, my tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week and chit-chat about what crafty things I have been doing for the last, well, 2 weeks. That does make sense. If I come every 2 weeks, I would talk about what I've done for the last 2 weeks. Anyway. This is a cross stitch and knitting, not that I'm wearing any, but the yarn might clue you in. Knitting, occasional crochet, podcast. Those are the little things I get into usually. So I'm coming to you from a very sunny, very pretty, very spring Pacific Northwest. It's absolutely lovely, except for the whole allergies problem. Yeah, so there may be pauses and such for sneezing fits, because those happen a lot. It's spring. Yeah, yay. I mean, I kind of like yay, but yeah, yay. Anyhow, right. This is episode 13, if I didn't already say. 13. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew I'd get to 13? I mean, if you keep doing something, I guess that would make sense, but whatever. Anyhow, I'm drinking some tea, like always. This is Harney & Sons chocolate tea, which is just a black tea with a hint of chocolate in it, in my things could be worse calamity wear mug. Yeah. Let's see, what's been going on for the last 2 weeks? Some knitting. A little bit of stitching. Craft-wise, that's it. So first, let's start with, not spilling my tea. Let's start with that. Let's start with what's behind me. Yes, many, many eons ago, when I used to stitch a lot more often, in fact, back in 2007, I was in a round robin for Mirabilia. And this was my final project. So I had put this lovely lady in the center and asked people to put ladies, I mean it's Mirabilia, of course, ladies, but ladies of the evening. Ooh, that sounds not exactly how I meant it. Ladies that make you think of the night? Oh, ladies of the night, even worse. Evening dressed up ladies. Sure, we'll go with that. Evening dressed up ladies, which works for Mirabilia on my piece. That's what I asked for. And lovely people did do so. I have 2 more at the bottom. Let me see if I can show those off. Ooh, yeah, that's great. That shows nothing. But this was a lovely piece. I have everything on it, all of the beads, all of the treasures, like this giant snowflake right here. Let me pull it closer so I can show it off to you. I wish I could remember the name of everybody. Somewhere in a move or something, I lost the sheet that had everybody's names, and I'm so upset about it. It actually is kind of crushing. So all I have are some initials. So I have this lovely, and that lovely, and that lovely, and then let's go across the bottom. Those lovelies. And then my piece, which was the center one. But see what I mean by shiny? It's flipped. That's sad. Still shiny. Shiny pieces. Anyhow, this was a lovely, lovely, wonderful round robin, and I absolutely adored everyone's pieces, chunks of Mirabilia that we put on everybody's pieces. It was really, really fun and really, really well put together, and It's spring, so I'm gonna go sneeze. Whew. All right, I'm back. Ah, spring. What more can I say? And yeah, so that was my living in my dresser drawer piece for today. I absolutely loved it. It was a wonderful opportunity. It was a wonderful group of lovely, lovely, lovely stitchers. And I'm still so upset that I don't remember the names. Memory sucks. Well, at least mine does. Anyhow, that's that. Let's get on to what I've been working on. So, I have done some more on my Kushlig shawl. That is the one that I am using the Hugh Loco's One Pot Wonders mini skeins for. Let's make sure I get it from the right side. And so, as you can see, I was last here, because there's my little teacup. So I have put on a couple more colors, and now I am in this one. I am just doing them in numerical order, so day 1, day 2, day 3. I did not rearrange in any way, shape, or form, and so I did run into this. They are definitely different colors, and you can definitely tell they're different colors, but they do kind of run together. But I think I'm going to enjoy that for this particular piece. That was more or less what I wanted to do, and I am loving that these sections are so large, because it gives an opportunity for that color of mini to shine. I mean, you can just see the whole thing, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to take this opportunity to move my little teacup to here, so the next time I show it off, we'll know where I was. Makes sense to me. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's keep those on the needles, shall we? I think we should. Yeah, we really should. So yes, I'm really enjoying this one still. Have not been working on it very much of late because, ooh, lost a needle. Because, well, sock madness. Last episode you saw that I did make the qualifier. I did finish the qualifier in time, which means that I have been placed on a team. Now, I've been in sock madness for a handful of years. Don't actually remember how many. 5? 4? I don't know. It's been a few years. And I'm always on the slowest team. Team A. So imagine my surprise when teams were released this time. And I was on Team K. Yes, K. Ooh. Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Whoa, I was terrified. And then I see some of the other people on the team, and I'm like, oh, wait, she's on the team. She's always been on Team A, and oh, so is she. Oh, and so is she. Wow, have that many new knitters started knitting that the slow team is now Team K? Like, people are even slower and newer knitters than the other people who are on the team? That'd be really neat. That's kind of cool. Or did they just reassign letters so you don't know what team you're on speed-wise by alphabet? And looking at how round 1 is going, that would seem to be closer. Team K seems to still be the slow team. Sadly, my speed of knitting has not improved in the handful of years that I've been doing Sock Madness, which is okay. I'm not doing it for speed. I'm doing it for education, personal education, and fun. So, last week, Wednesday I want to say, the first sock dropped. And I have finished one. Yes, one of the socks. And I will show it off. Ta-da! Look at that. Look at this crazy sock. It is amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at those cables. Look at them. I love how this tree trunk does this and kind of goes into this neat, like, roots system thing. Anyway, here's the first sock. Yeah, there's a couple cables, just 1 or 2, or 14, or a 7/2 right-leaning cable thing. That's this. And then on the second sock, we get to mirror it so that you have this being on the outside of the leg, on both sides of your legs, so that, yeah, it looks right. Anyhow, that was a lot of purling. Yes, yeah, that sock is all entirely purled. I did purl it too. There was a way to do it inside out, but then you would have had to have done the cables somehow else. I didn't really understand that, so I decided to not do it that way since we had the option, and I did it by purling a lot. I am very sad. This part right here, yeah, that instep part, that right at the ankle, a little tight, a lot tight, very tight. I can technically get it on my foot, so when I have to do the final photos where you have them on adult feet, I will be able to put this on my foot. Barely. Very uncomfortable. So at the end of Sock Madness, I'll be re-knitting this sock. Just this one, because I'm making the second one, which has kind of run away, so just a second. Which has kind of run away. I will be knitting the second sock larger. I'm using a size needle larger for the cables, which I should have done in the first sock and didn't because, I don't know. So this is as far as I am on that one. So I have just started that one, and this is as far as I am. We do have 2 weeks to finish this. I think it's Wednesday sometime of next week, not tomorrow, Wednesday of next week, that we need to have all these done. Or, the cat was in the room and she just woke up, so she's going to be bumping the tripod. Well, maybe not. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, for round one. I have 2 weeks to finish this, or if 50 people on my team finish before me. It's one or the other. 2 weeks, or the people on your team finish before you. And there are 63 people on my team right now. So 50 of us get to move on to round 2. It's exciting. It's a very cable-y chart, which is a bit tiring on the hands, especially those 7/2 right candy caney cable things. This guy. This is a very hand-exhausting cable, and the swear words, people. So many swear words. Oh man, I would have made sailors blush because I kept dropping stitches when doing my cables because I typically do cables without a cable needle because normally I can. Not on this cable. This cable I needed a cable needle. But I didn't learn that until like here. So stop down. I did all the rest of the cables I can do without a cable needle, okay. But I kept dropping stitches. And dropping stitches in a cable is a nightmare. Absolute freaking nightmare. But I have the right stitches. I have the right, it all worked out. I picked them all up. I found them all and they kept, yeah. Anyhow, I'm really happy to have this one done. I'm hoping I get the second one done in time and that I can move on to round 2. And that is all the knitting. Because, like I said, once Sock Madness happens, well, I just knit on socks. And they're lovely. But, yeah. So, there's that. But I did, when I was not knitting on socks, I wasn't really picking up any of my other knitting either. Because you gotta rest these puppies. They get tired. So I have been working on some stitching. Only one piece. Which I'll explain later why it was only one piece, but only one piece right now. And that would be because I have been working on Jane Reese. Yes, look. She's on a normal sized piece of linen. She is, look at this. I finally got to the bottom. Whee! And finally got to the left side. Right side, because right side. And I cut her out of the giant piece of 50 count. yard-o bed sheet that I had been using to stitch her on. So I finally cut her out. It is so much easier to handle her right now. I'm very, very happy. So I have been working on this for my Whip Go board, and I needed to finish one alphabet for March, which I have. You can see that first alphabet, A through Z, is done. I have not touched my second March Whip Go board square project. Didn't even touch it because I've been really enjoying working on this one. I've been enjoying working on this one a whole lot. It is just really soothing and I've been super enjoying it. So I was very excited when April's squares were called, and unsurprising considering how many times Jean Reese is on my board. She is one of the squares again for April, and I'm again excited about that because I'm still really, really enjoying working on this one. So I have one more alphabet to do for April. And I think outlining, yes, the other one is outline 2 squares on my Village of Hakran Hollow. And evidently still do the 10 hours I need to do on my tiny months pieces so that I can actually finish March's goal as well. So that was all I worked on. That was it. That was all. This piece and a little bit of knitting. It's gonna be low, what's the word? Project number wise, but hopefully high project, maybe not completion, but progress wise. That is how I'm hoping this will go. And my cat desperately wants to leave the room and is scratching at the door, so I am going to go let her out before she, I don't know, does some, apologies, I have some yarn over there. I'm back! Surprise! Yeah, the cat likes to sleep under the kid's bed. So I'll come in here and think, nobody's in here, none of the cats are in here, yay! And then halfway through she comes crawling out from under the bed and then wants to, well, you know, cats. It's what they do. It's how they are. As I was saying, that is the end of the crafting for this 2 weeks. I mean, I finished a very, very large one sock of a cabled sock set. Words. And I did do a bit on Jane Reese. Jane Reese. Jean? No, Jane. Jane Reese. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And now let's get on to plans. What are my plans for the next 2 months? 2 months? No, 2 weeks. Weeks. Not months, weeks. I told you a little bit. Finish my second sock. And depending on how things go, maybe finish round 1 of the socks, and then maybe, depending how things go, start round 2 if it comes out, and get some more progress done on Jane Reese. Hopefully a second alphabet, if not a third, depending on how much time I have. Other than that, I do have a plan to start on this Saturday. There are some people who are starting a stitch along, and it is Peruvian cats. So Bendy Stitchy, I watch her. She doesn't know who the heck I am, but I watch her. I enjoy her. She is doing a stitch along with some other people whose names I'm blanking on right now. And it's the Peruvian cats stitch along. I do not have a picture or anything, but it is this lovely red cat sampler Peruvian style. I desperately wanted to do this. As soon as she mentioned it, I was like, I have to find this chart and buy it. And one, it's really inexpensive on Etsy. Holy crap, this woman needs to price her charts a little higher because it was way too cheap. So I bought it and I desperately need to start it because I was born in Peru. Yeah, yes, the white chick was born in Peru. My parents were living down there at the time, and that's where I was born. So I kind of have an affinity for Peruvian and Incan things because of that. It is not really my heritage because, again, white girl. So, not my heritage. And I left when I was very, 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 very young, so I don't even have the grew up there type heritage either. But because I was born there, I have always had an affinity and love of Peruvian and Incan items and art. I don't know. I was born there. I have a tiny, tiny connection, and someday I will go back, if ever we're able to travel again, and I will go to Peru as an adult, and I think that will be fun. Anyhow, they are starting a stitch along on Saturday. And I am joining it because how could I not? I mean, really, how could I not? So I really need to be done with my sock. So I'm going to use one of these colors. I haven't decided which one. This is from a pack I bought, I don't even know when. It's Stitches and Spice Australian Hand-Dyed Fabrics and Threads. This is a sparkle pack of 32 count. And I'm thinking, let me pull them out. There's like 4 different colors in here. Thinking I'm going to use one of these. Probably one of the lighter of the two. And this, I'm going to use some Silky 12 weight on it. So I'm hoping that 32 count and Silky 12 weight will be good. But I really like these colors, and I think they will be fun for the Peruvian cats. The colors kind of remind me of Peruvian textiles, with the bright color changes and the fun colors. And if I don't like it, I'll just make it red. I mean, that's how that goes when I'm doing things like that. If I don't like the multicolor thing going on, I'll just be like, yeah, I'll turn it into a red sampler. Red kitties. Anyhow, so that's my plan. Oops. Let me put this back in the bag correctly where I can actually still see the tag. I don't even know when I bought this little sampler thing or how long I've had it. I mean, it was when I used to stitch, so it was at least 7 years ago. So I don't even know if this dyer, I do not even know if they exist anymore. But they have this fun opalescent fabric. I'm not sure why I'm doing opalescent for Peruvian. That doesn't quite work. Something in my brain was like, I need something to symbolize Peruvian silver. So that's why I went with the opalescent. I don't know if it works, but that was my thought process. And then yes, this Silky 12 weight. So that is what one of my plans for stitching is, to start that. The reason I do not have another start this month, which I had planned to do, I was doing this whole, oh, I'm gonna make plans to do 4 starts a year, special big starts, or special means something to me starts. And I was going to start each one on the solstice or the equinox. So spring did happen. It is spring now. We got past the spring equinox, and I didn't start anything because I forgot. I was exhausted. I was exhausted that day. And the next day I realized what day it was. It was no longer the start of spring. And I went, well, I could just start it today. I went, but the whole point was I wanted to start it on the equinox or the solstice, and it was no longer either one of those. So I decided to just skip it for spring. I still hadn't decided on what project I was going to use, so maybe if I'd done that I would have pulled it out anyway, but I still hadn't decided what project I was going to start, so I was swing and a miss on that particular attempted start thing. Yeah, well, it's not like I need new projects to start. I have plenty. Those are pretty much my plans. Yeah. Stitch on Jane Reese until I'm tired of it, because I'm really, really enjoying it, and I think it'll take a little while, so I'm hoping to get a couple of alphabets done. And now that she's on the smaller piece of fabric and I've cut her out, she's so much easier to handle and she's so much more enjoyable to stitch on because of that. Do that. On Saturday, start my Peruvian Cats Sal, which I am stupid looking forward to. And knitting wise, it's sock madness. I'm knitting socks. Oh, I didn't mention what yarn this is. I think it is a Hazel Knits artisan sock yarn in Leaping Lizard, but I honestly don't know. It had been something else at some point, and I had ripped the project out and rewound it onto the ball, so it really looked crappy, and decided that it was a pretty color for this, but I'd lost the tag. So I think that's what it is. And on this one, I used a US 1.5 millimeter needle. And I'm using a 1.5 still for the cuff, and then for the leg, I'm using actually a US size 2, because tight knitter cables need the room. And because I'm a terrible podcaster, didn't give you any of this information, I'll go back to this. I did say it was a 50 count, but I did not say what thread I was using. I almost said yarn. What thread I am using. I am using a Vicky Clayton's hand-dyed silk in a, what is it, a Perfect Reds variegation. I don't remember the numbers, but it's 3 different colors of her Perfect Reds on a color. I mean, it's a variegated yarn. And I really like how that is looking because it is almost solid. But there's just that hint of color movement, so it's not plain. I like that in solid colors, to have just a tiny hint of variegation. Sometimes I like crazy amounts of variegation. But for my Bristol sampler, I just wanted a tiny hint of variegation, so it gave your eye some, I don't know, some prettiness to look at. So those are my plans. Not much. It's like I said, it's sock madness. I'm knitting socks, and in my not knitting socks times, I will be working on Jane Ray Sanday as a Peruvian cat sampler. Like I said, like 8 times now, in case you hadn't known what I was doing. How do you people put up with me? I realize I don't have a lot of watchers, and maybe it's because I'm repetitive, but that's fine. I'm so happy you're here regardless. I like hanging out with you guys. It's really, really fun. And if more people want to join, welcome. Please come join. There's plenty of room for everyone here. So now we will move on to the what have I purchased? Well, most of it is just my monthly yarn subscriptions, because I have like 3 of those and I really like them. So I will probably continue to do all 3 of them for a while and try and knit faster. But I did buy, where is it? There it is. I did buy another knitting bag because I wanted it. Don't need it, wanted it. So I bought it from Matterroot, Maine. And that is her information. I just really like her card. It's pretty. So I bought this bag. I like these because it has a nice waxed canvas bottom, as you can hear. So it makes it nice and sturdy, so it kind of sits really nice. Then you have this, plaid. It's lovely. Then these lovely yarn balls inside. And I like these because you can do this, and depending on how well you fold it over, you can just have it sitting next to you and you kind of have a little yarn bucket. Where was I? It's a yarn bucket. So it makes it nice, and you can just knit from it. You can just set it on the ground next to you, knit from it, and I don't know, they just, I find them nice. They have one pocket right there. And I really like her bags. I like the way they feel. I like the way they look. When you're done, you can just, do it better than that, but you can just fold it over and close the buckle, and nothing comes out and the cats can't get in it. So I like her bags, so I bought another one because the other one I have of hers, which the cat has been sleeping on, it needs a really serious cleaning, and I have to figure out how to clean it and not let the cat sleep on it. So I bought the bag, and then my yarns. 3. There is the Macmillan Fiber Company the Met Art Gallery yarns. Wow, words are hard, people. Words, they are hard. Anyway, this was for March. This was the painting that the yarn is based off of. It is a Van Gogh, one of his still lifes. And this is a very pretty painting. I like it. This is the yarn based on that painting. As you can see, those lovely greens and all the white, it's a perfect color match. And I very much enjoy it. This is Macmillan Fiber Co.'s Super Silky yarn. It is a 50% silk, 50% superwash merino, 380 yards, 115 grams. So it's almost a sporty weight. It is a sporty weight, but it feels really nice with that content, and I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it, but I love this, and I'm loving the yarn based on art. It makes my heart sing. So I'm very much enjoying it. So I got my Macmillan Fiber Company. I also received my Wool and Honey Great Bear, oh gosh, man, can't even remember the name of it. This is terrible, I say. Wool and Honey's monthly subscription, Great Sleeping Bear Yarn Club. Wow, I've been in it for a year and I can't even remember. That's really sad. Anyhow, this month's is from Heathered Handmaids. Look at that lovely color. It's called Boathouse Boardwalk. It is a simple sock base, that's what she calls it, and it's 100% superwash merino. Now, I personally would never use this for socks because superwash merino 100% isn't durable enough for socks. You need some nylon. You really do. But it's sock weight yarn, which means it's a fingering weight yarn, which means you can do a lot of different things with this. I will probably do some sort of cowl, I think, with this one. Just really love the neutral colors and the variegation on this one. And yeah, maybe I'll do that Joji Locatelli Paris and Berlin shawl. Anyway, just a one skein project. Though with this one, it's really nice because it's all these wonderful neutral colors, so you can definitely pop this into some sort of 2-skeiner project, and this would be really nice, I think, in that. So I'm very much enjoying my Sleeping Bear Yarn Club from Wool and Honey. They just have such fun dyers, and the colors that they get are so lovely. They did send their sneak peek for next month, and this is for next month. This will be April, and that is a very tulipy colors. It will be called Little Traverse Tulips from Queen City Yarn, I think. Not sure. And then those are the examples of the patterns that you can get. I always have it just set to send me the socks, but maybe I'll change it at some point and start getting the shawls. I don't know. Who knows? I could change my mind. So that's this sock. Really like it. It's very pretty. And then there's the last sock. Ooh, almost lost it from my lap. There's the last sock club that I am in, that I signed up for almost on a whim. I saw an ad for it and was like, I have one skein of their yarn and I really liked it. And I enjoy what they do. They're a an indie dyer, obviously. That it is the Farmer's Daughter Fibers yarn company. And I am in their sock squad, which is their sock of the month. And I'm very much enjoying their sock of the month. So, woohoo! They always send it with a little mini, which is just fun because you can just play around with that a lot. This one is called Lone Larch. It is their one for what, March? Yeah, this is March's. And this is a 75-25, 460 yard, 100 gram set, or skein, with a mini 92 yard mini skein. A mini 92 yard mini skein. Because, you know, if you put the word mini in it a few times, then you know it's a mini. Anyway, I'm very much enjoying their colors. I love their socks so far. I love the different bases they've put them on. Because the last one I had was, oh, it's in the other room, because I almost used it for this sock that I'm knitting for Sock Madness, and I decided not to. But I'm liking their yarns. They feel really good. They do a lovely dye job, and they're absolutely lovely. So yes, I have joined the 2021 Sock Squad Yarn Club. This is my 3rd month. I'm absolutely loving it, and I cannot wait to see what I get next. This one I may stick with. I just hope that McMullen Fiber Company doesn't do another wonderful art yarn thing next year, because then I'll have an excuse to not buy it. Because I really don't need more yarn. I just really enjoy it. It brings me joy to bring the yarn into my house and to have it displayed. This just brings me happiness. And anytime I want to start a project, I just come here and I play my yarn, and I can 9 times out of 10 find something, unless I'm trying to make a sweater. At which point, because I buy single skeins, it has to be a fade, or I have to buy yarn because it's not going to be in one color. But I love having my little self-curated store back here. It's a wonderful collection, and I enjoy it. So yeah, that's everything that came in. So not too much in the new purchases, just one new purchase with the bag, and technically the one chart, the Peruvian cats, which I don't have a thing of because it was a digital thing and I haven't printed it because I haven't done that yet, because I'm thinking I'm going to use it on a tablet, so I didn't print it. That's it for stash. That's it for adding to my collection of lovelies. So now, last but not least, I haven't talked enough with only 2 objects to show you. This is depressing. So depressing. I'm talking way too much. Is life stuff. So before I started, my last time that we hung out, we chit-chatted and all of that, I mentioned that I'd gotten a new job. Yes, I'm working at a yarn store again, and I am so excited and happy about it. It makes me so happy. I have done 5 days. I'm working part-time. So I'm working 3 days a week. So I've done my 5 days so far, and I love it. The owners are fantastic women. The other employees are really sweet, the ones I've met. Customers are great. It's really nice to be working in a yarn store again. It just feels nice. I enjoy it. I'm lucky that I had the opportunity to get this job and work in a yarn store, work with what I love again. So I'm feeling very happy and content with that. I'm loving it. It's fantastic. I am having a hard time with working retail during the pandemic. It's a little scary. I mean, we all mask. There's only a certain amount of people allowed in the shop at a time. Everyone has to wear a mask. Everyone hand sanitizes before they come in. I'm hand sanitizing my hands constantly again, which, ow. I need to start soaking them in lotion again so that they have somewhat amount of moisture back in them and they don't just dry and fall off. But it is nerve-wracking for me. I have some health problems, so getting COVID would be bad. basically. And there's been a little layer of fear that I have had working that I've never had before, because I haven't worked in a pandemic before. And it's just weird. It's fine. I'm dealing with it. I'm handling it. But it does make it learning the routines and the new things for the job a little more difficult, because brains don't process new information well when under stress. So I'm feeling very dumb at my job. Things I'm forgetting, I shouldn't be forgetting. I normally wouldn't be forgetting, and I am forgetting because of the new world that we are in. It's very frustrating for me. That said, Washington State has opened up the next tier for vaccinations. And, well, they start on the 31st. The new tier is allowed to get vaccinations. And I don't remember, it's what, tier 1B, tier 3 and 4. I don't remember the names of all of them. It's I can't keep up. But it's my tier. It's the tier where I now qualify to get the vaccination. So I noticed that my county's health department website for vaccinations was allowing people to sign up on the 31st. Even if you didn't qualify on that day, you would qualify on the 31st, so that they allowed people who were eligible for the vaccine on the 31st to sign up for shots on the 31st, if that makes any sense. And so I got up and signed on as soon as they were opening up slots, and I got a slot. So I am getting my first shot of the vaccine tomorrow. And I'm very excited about it, because that is at least step one towards getting myself immunized, which is one more shot in one more arm, which is helpful for everyone. And I am excited. So tomorrow I get to drive out to a high school and I guess drive around their parking lot while I do a drive-through vaccination thing and get my first shot. Everyone I know who's gotten, everyone I know who has had this shot, I'm getting the Moderna vaccine. They all seem to just have a very sore arm for the first shot. So I'm hoping I'll just have a very sore arm, because I work Thursday and Friday. Technically I would work tomorrow as well, being Wednesday. I'm filming on the 30th. I will be putting this up on Wednesday, so you will be seeing this on Wednesday if you see it the day that it's released. If not, you'll be seeing it back in time, and magic of the internet. And confusing things about time. Right. So normally I would have worked on Wednesday, but my bosses gave me the day off because the timing of when I could get my shot would have been kind of in the middle of my shift, and I have a commute because I live in Washington State. I live in the I-5 corridor, which means you drive to get most places, and there's cars and there's traffic, so they gave me the day off so that I could get my shot, and so hopefully it will just be a sore arm on Thursday and not worse. We will see, but I'm very excited about that, and yay, the vaccination. It didn't have to wait for May when they're opening it up to everybody. I was starting to be worried that is when they would have it open, but Washington State seems to be working pretty hard on trying to get the tiers processed through so that they aren't swarmed in May. Yeah, other than that, I bought some fancy outdoor furniture that arrived and set it up and spent one glorious day on it, and then, because it's spring in Washington State, torrential downpours for the next week. Hooray! Because that's how it goes, isn't it? Today is beautiful. Yesterday was pretty nice as well, but it was cold, and I didn't want to sit outside in the cold. Today is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous out. And kind of warm. So I'm thinking, allergies be damned. And I might go sit on my fancy new outdoor furniture on my back porch and knit. How does that sound for an adventure? I think it's you guys should come over sometime. You can hang out in the backyard, socially distanced. Do some knitting. Have some tea. Chat. Discuss cross stitch and knitting and whatever else crafty things that are adventuresome in our worlds. I think that sounds like fun. Right? If you are new here, this is how it goes. I talk a lot about very few items and I never finish anything. But if you enjoy that and you liked it, please subscribe. Down. That one? That one? One of the corners. Please subscribe. Hit like. Comment. I love getting comments. They make me feel happy. And it's like, oh, someone watched me. Exciting. Comment. I'm happy to comment back. I love reading what people say. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what plans you have for April, because it's coming. It's coming. It's right over there. It's like day after tomorrow. It's right there. Actually, it'll be tomorrow if you're watching this on Wednesday. Again, that tiny, whiny weirdness thing that I don't understand. Okay, I do understand it, but it's brain confusion things are hard. So if you're new, please do that. Feel free if you enjoyed this. If you are a returning watcher, thank you so much for coming back. I love being able to chit chat with you for our every other week fortnightly. That sounds fancy. Our fortnightly get together while we chat about what we are doing in our crafts. Yes. Right. I will let you all get back to your wonderful bits. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in 2 weeks where it will be April. It will be April. Okay, I keep seeing this piece of yarn ball right above my head and it makes it really, I mean, right at the end of the podcast is when I'm going to move so that I don't see that anymore. That makes no sense, but it was really bothering me. And now, yeah, I'm not refilming because I look like I have a yarn ball on my head. Not going to do it. Maybe I'll even cut that part out because whatever. Anyhow, I will let you go. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope that the weather wherever you are is getting nicer or getting more fallish, depending on where you live. May your stitch counts be accurate and may your borders neat. And I will see you again in about 2 weeks where hopefully I will have made progress on anything at all. Let's hope. All right. It's wonderful to chat with you all. Thank you so very much for visiting. Until then, bye-bye.